Welcome back to Sean's show, everyone. Guys, give it up for yourselves. I'm here with Alex behind the keys.
Hello.
As always, how are you, Alex?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. We are so happy to be with you. I have some bad news, some bad personal news that I have to share. My citizenship was revoked. My citizenship as a U.S. Guy, I am no longer a U.S. citizen, ladies and gentlemen. It was revoked. It was almost revoked. Thankfully, it was not. Thankfully, guys. Hey, great news, everyone. The courts prevail. I love it, guys. We saw the light. Isn't that amazing that that's where the Supreme Court, that is like the Overton window. So let me get this straight. The Overton window of what is permissible to debate in the United States of America in the law has drifted so far. I'm not even going to say to the right. It's just down. People say, oh, our country's drifting to the right. It's going down into the fucking sewer. Okay, we are a sewage. I mean, the fucking, welcome to the show, guys. We're gonna have fun today. The country is in this, it's in a sewer. The reflecting pool no longer reflects. If you look down at it, it's just green sludge. And then you look up at the buildings and it's a guy choke slamming another guy. That's awesome. I love that now, like, how quickly things change. How quickly the times change, you guys. Bob Dylan said that, a very famous musician. Bob, I call him Robert Dylan. I don't give him the Robert Dylan, prized musician. Bob Dylan once said, "The times they are a changin'. My. That's that art." Anyone can say the times that are changing. He's great. I love Bob Dylan. So Bob Dylan once said the times are changing, and the times are changing indeed. The times are changing indeed. 4 years ago, you could go to DC, you could look down at the reflecting pool and ponder your place in the world. And then you could go look up at the buildings and you could see Abe Lincoln sitting there in a chair judging you. That was cool. That was like, damn, let me aspire to be like that guy. And now you go to DC and you look down and you see a fentanyl addict drowning in a pool of algae, going, "Help me, help me! I thought this was liquor." And you go, "I'm good. I got places to be." Then you look up and it's the Undertaker doing a backflip onto John Cena. The UFC is not the same as the WWE, Sean. Actually, the UFC is real fighters and the WWE is scripted. Is totally different. It's all scripted. If you don't think the NFL, the NBA, FIFA, especially FIFA, what the fuck is FIFA? Can I ask a question? What the fuck is FIFA and why does the game not have an ending time? It just ends. Okay, and there's always ways to justify it. They go, "Oh my God, they got an odd time. It's a continuous sequence of play, and so they add back time." No. It's so the refs can adjust their bets on Kalshi. Kalshi.com. That is our sponsor for today. We are sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi.com/Sean Show. Just kidding. Wouldn't that be funny? We are unsponsored, guys. I hate even showing the brand of this coffee that I'm drinking. I don't even want to show you the brand, even though it's a great brand. Actually, no. Fuck this brand. Guys, so I don't know. I hope you're doing well. We have a lot of news to get to. I guess the first story we have is the Supreme Court has rebuked is the word I guess we should be using. The Supreme Court rebuked Trump and his efforts to roll back citizenship for individuals that I want to be very careful how I word this. The Supreme Court rebuked Trump's effort to end birthright citizenship. Now, this is a pretty wild story. I mean, I think and again, I think it's just insane that it was that close. That's what we really need to be worried about, guys. I know, and a lot of people are mad, which I think is the right reaction to this, right? Imagine if you got the news. I don't even know what a good analogy would be. Like, imagine if you got the news that, you know what a good metaphor or analogy for this would be? Let's say you were walking down the street in broad daylight, and then some crazy driver comes peeling down the roadway, and he's hammered, he's blacked out drunk, and he hits you and rips your leg off, and now you've lost a leg, and then you go to court, and the court battle takes 3 years, and you got no leg. It's pretty obvious that this guy fucking ripped your leg off. And then at the end of this ordeal, they come back, and the judge goes, "Great, I have great news for you. We're finally delivering justice to you. 6 out of the 10 jurors found you to be in the right and found you to be the victim." It's a little close. It's a little close for comfort when I think 3 of the justices wanted to end this. And I don't know. I've honestly, you guys, I've been a very early hater of the Supreme Court. I've always, I mean, you know who I am if you guys listen to the show. When I was in 8th grade, you think I fucking stood up and took the Pledge of Allegiance? You're right, I did. I actually did. I didn't say under God, though. But I knew it was bullshit inside. And the same thing is true of this institution. I don't give a fuck about how many is it, 8 or 9? I don't care what 9 elitist Ivy League lawyers think about a document written by a bunch of slave-owning frat bros. I do not care. Can we make that abundantly clear and you shouldn't either? The fact that we even have to look to the Supreme Court. Also, the name is insane. Supreme Court. You can't just call it, I don't know, the court. It has to be supreme. What are they called? They're called supreme justices? Is that what they're called? I think they're called, Alex is going to look it up. What are they called? Supreme Court. Yeah, Supreme Court justices. Supreme Court justice. It sounds like it's Star Trek. That sounds like a Star Trek. Like you guys are like the emperors of the universe, and you sit. It's Supreme Court. It's too much. It's giving. I mean, Brett Kavanaugh. Supreme. That's the only Supreme I respect. Is the Skate brand or whatever the fuck they are. They're a crypto. They're Bitcoin now. But we're so yeah, guys. We can all agree that's crazy. It's crazy that we were really close. We were really close to losing that one. And again, it's just getting to the point where it's like it's just so divisive, because on the other side of the aisle, the people are thinking about it like this, where they're like, oh, well, if someone comes to this country illegally, has a baby, why the fuck should that baby have rights as a U.S. citizen? Why the fuck? The baby, U.S. You cross the border, you have a baby, you think you can be a citizen? Yes. That's the reality we live in when our entire immigration system is broken. What the fuck do you want? Who the fuck do you want to do your lawn? Can I ask you, who's going to do Brett Kavanaugh's lawn? So let me get this straight. every Supreme Court justice and all of these DC intellectual academic elitists on the right are voting to just rip away. It's not even about whether or not you're a citizen. It's literally about it's money. Guys, it's just money. They don't want people to have US citizenship because it gives them economic rights and it gives them the ability to, I don't know, start a business. It makes their life easier to live in America when you're a citizen versus not. You live under a fucking barrel of a gun when you're here. What word will I use? You don't know. Illegal. I'm kidding. I don't know. When you're here without papers, there's no whatever. It's fuck the Supreme Court. We can all agree the Supreme Court, and you know what? Even the liberal justices, I don't have any respect even for the liberal ones, because you know what? Being on that court, you're co-signing the institution. And these are very, very intelligent people. And I fucking believe that shit, bro. When you go to a UFC event at the White House, you're co-signing the White House. When you're on the Supreme Court, you are co-signing that you think that you're imbuing this institution with power. And, I don't need a 91-page dissent on why Clarence Thomas, is that his name? Is that his name, Alex?
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas. Can you look this up? I believe Clarence Thomas wrote a 91-page dissent on why he thinks that Mexicans should be put in a camp. This is from The Hill, which we love. The Supreme Court's opinion on birthright citizenship, including Thomas' dissent. I'd love to read some of Thomas's dissent, because the thing is, it doesn't really matter how he let's not pretend that, I just want to say this let's just make this abundantly clear. Let's make this very clear. The Supreme Court justices are not reading. That's what the Supreme Court justices want you to think they do every day, is they sit and they read the Constitution and they read every word and they go, what did George Washington mean by that? I don't care. That should not be the basis for a government. Life, and they're appointed for life. They're appointed for life. That's being a Supreme Court justice. It has to be the easiest fucking job on earth. Easiest job on earth. You're appointed for life, and it's extremely difficult to, revoke your authority on the Supreme Court. So all you have to do is get all your fucking interns to write. You just go, right, I don't agree. I don't like this. Also, aren't they they're all bought and sold. We all know they're bought and sold. It's like, it's the corruption is just fucking crazy, dude. The corruption is crazy. And it's so, and again, really the reason I don't like the Supreme Court justices is because they went to colleges that I got rejected from. That is ultimately what really upsets me. Is, let's not forget that every Supreme Court justice, a lot of them went to Yale, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. I think every Supreme Court justice in history got a JD from Yale or Harvard, and it's, Clarence Thomas. Oh yeah. Clarence Thomas. I remember talking about, what does that say, Alex?
It was the controversy. About him being basically funded by a wealthy conservative benefactors, luxury jets.
Didn't he? He hangs out. So Clarence Thomas hangs out with billionaires and goes on their yachts and shit.
Yeah, there's one trip, a yacht trip that he took that cost $500,000.
And it's totally comped.
Yeah.
Just a totally comped $500,000, trip with a billionaire. And that guy is going to decide, that guy gets to interpret. You know what? I'm honestly, all the shit that I just said, I will let it all go if the Supreme Court justices can stop interpreting the Constitution from a billionaire's yacht. How about that? How about that? Can we have a Supreme Court where the justices are not reading a pocket constitution from a G5 on the way to the Bahamas? That's what they're... Clarence Thomas hangs out with a billionaire on his fucking yacht and goes on a vacate, and he goes, "Oh, I was friends with him. I was friends with him before." He's like, he's my day one. He knew me before I was anything, so he doesn't want anything from me. I'm sure, Clarence Thomas. I'm sure that the billionaire that hangs out with you and gives you all of these perks doesn't want anything from you, and certainly didn't bring up... We've all seen House of Cards. I'm rewatching House of Cards. Clarence Thomas gets to hang out with a billionaire and then tell you that you were born here and your mom, snuck over on the fucking whatever river, the Rio. What's it called? The Rio.
Is it the Rio Grande?
The Rio Grande. Thank you, Alex. I've had my 4 hours of sleep, guys. You know what? Clarence Thomas, you can suck my dick. And I know this is really hard to hear a white guy say this. I'm aware of that he's a scholarly black man. That has nothing to do with this. I look at the content of a person's character. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, brown, purple. If you go on a yacht, a billionaire's yacht, and then you push down a 91-page edict on your twisted interpretation of a 250-year-old document that strips away rights from people that just want to come here and live a fucking life, is insane. Is insane. Let's throw that on. That looks like an interesting headline. Alex is on fire. This is from Business Insider. Clarence Thomas accepted a free yacht trip to Russia and got flown out on a complimentary helicopter ride to Putin's hometown. So Clarence Thomas, hey, Clarence Thomas, if you want to go hang out with Putin, does that make you a Russian citizen? How about this? If I was a Supreme Court justice, maybe I interpret the Constitution and I find out that if you go to Russia, you got to stay there. How about that? How about, you know what? All right. So anyway, guys, thank God we dodged a bullet there. So guess what? You get to be a citizen for another year because they'll bring it back around and they're going to try again. The Supreme Court, and the idea that it's a check, it's supposed to, the judicial, it's just a general comment. It is so insane that we are like American civics class at a public, middle school or high school is an utter fucking sham. I would love to teach civics. I would kill to be a high school civics or history teacher in America, because I would not be teaching, 1980s, 3 branches of government, fucking Sesame Street, VeggieTales bullshit. I would not be showing the kids, that one animation where it's like how a bill becomes law. What's that one? It's like a cartoon of a bill. The legislative process. I mean, come on. Isn't there like an animation or like a video? It's like, that's how a bill becomes law. let's throw this up here. Hopefully we don't get copyright struck, but let's just play. What's this called again, Alex?
Looks like how a bill becomes a law feat Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse. Oh yeah. Schoolhouse Rock. Actually, let's not play it because let's play a little bit of it, and I'll talk over it so we don't get copyright struck.
Playback speed 1.5.
There you go. Smart.
Yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the Capitol.
Yeah.
It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am.
This guy's eating. That
young scholars in this video.
Wow. So even the beginning where he goes, "Yeah, I'm only a bill, and one day I'll be law, but it's a long way to Capitol Hill. I am only a bill." You want to know the way to Capitol? You know, there's actually a shortcut to being a bill, okay? And it's called Citizens United. I am only a bill. Luckily, I'm friends with a group of pedophiles who can give me a shortcut to Capitol Hill. You want to know how you become a bill these days? It's called the Joe Rogan Experience. Guys, the only way to get and I'm just going to fucking say it. The only way that a bill becomes law, if you have an urgent matter and you want it to be legislated in the US government, one of the fastest ways to do it is to speak your truth on the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm sorry. Alex, start the 5-minute clock. The 5-minute clock starts now because I will not stop. This was actually a while ago, but I love how Rogan can just text the president and go, "Hey, we should pass some urgent legislation about psilocybin." You know what? Fuck you. Honestly, Joe Rogan ruined psychedelics. Joe Rogan and Silicon Valley, you guys ruined psychedelics. Psychedelics, they are supposed to be underground. You're ruining it. You're making it a capitalist. Joe Rogan, whatever marijuana is now, Joe Rogan's going to help ram it through and make it commercial. And I brought all this up to say that's how I would teach my civics class. I would not, if I taught civics in school, I would not be teaching the 3 branches of government and there's the House and the Senate and etc. I would say, I would go, that's how it used to work. Now, I would say back in the day, if a bill wanted to become law, it has to be proposed in the House or the Senate, and then they have to vote on it. And then it gets sent to the executive branch where the president can veto. That's how it used to work. And now there's a guy and his name is Joe Rogan. He used to host Fear Factor, and he decides what's law now. and now he decides what's law. If you want to get a bill to become law, you have to go through Joe Rogan, and he gets to veto it. And if he likes you, then he texts the president, and the president makes it law. And that's the kind of country we live in now. And by the way, you're not a citizen anymore because of a bunch of geriatric. And by the way, this is just an aside. Can we talk about the filibuster? While we're on the subject of civics and bureaucracy, the filibuster has to go. I was on like 1,000, some people they have like visions on psychedelics. Joe Rogan has all these psychedelic visions about an AI utopia. While he's getting his dick sucked by Peter Thiel or whatever he does in his spare time. I had a vision. I was on 1,500 milligrams of good old caffeine. And I was thinking about, it was kind of a high thought. Isn't it insane that the filibuster is crazy? When you really, really, I just want to let's just back up. Just take a deep breath with me. When you really think about it and you isolate, try not to apply your political bias here because both sides of the aisle do this. The filibuster is an utterly, what's the word? It's prehistoric. The filibuster is a the filibuster is a medieval way to decide what laws are passed. It's medieval. Because what is it? The filibuster is, why is the law determined by the athleticism of a bunch of geriatric bags of sand? That's what the filibuster does. The filibuster is an athletic test for a bunch of old, decrepit, sociopathic frat bros that are in the government and they don't know where they are. And the filibuster is basically whichever geriatric senator can stand for longer and talk continuously, whichever politician has a larger bladder and stronger knees, that is how we decide what laws are passed. The fact that the filibuster exists is actually fucking crazy. That is the prime example of like, our entire government going to shit. I don't care what argument you have. Well, it's on the filibuster. It's important because it allows blah, blah, blah. No, I don't care. I'd rather live in fascism without the filibuster. That's how much it makes me mad. Because then what you stand for the filibuster is like you stand and you talk and you stay on topic. It's like podcasting. The filibuster is a podcast. The filibuster is, can your preferred politician do a podcast live for long enough to kill a bill? That's what it is. And it's again, it's just whether it's the Supreme Court, whether it's the filibuster, it's all this rot. Everything in the government that used to matter or was designed with people that, I don't know, we had a common, I want to be careful. I don't even want to say common identity because that's a white supremacist. I don't know. I guess we all used to have like, maybe this was never the case. Maybe it was always this vicious. And I'm just waking up to the fact that it's always been this vicious and shitty. But it feels shittier than 20 years ago. Does it not? Does it not feel shittier than it was 20 years ago? I don't know. That's enough politics. God, we have so much news, you guys. Guys, if you like the show, go to patreon.com/Sean Show for an extra episode every week. Thanks for listening. Let's take a little breather. My favorite stock is up 7.77% on the day, guys. Palantir, as we all know, the CEO, one of Joe Rogan's handlers, Alex Carr, Peter Thiel, continue to do great things for the world. Flock cameras, AI drones, all that good stuff that we all want in the world, and we all go outside and we go, this is a beautiful day. I wish there was a flock camera spying on me right now. This flock camera shit is crazy. We're the Palantiri stone, the orbs. I mean, it's actually insane that the company was named after the stone that is like known for distorting the image. That's actually what's so, and people have pointed this out, but I love the Lord of the Rings. What's so crazy about what's so ironic about naming a surveillance company Palantir is that in the Lord of the Rings, the Palantir orb, it's like known for distorting what you see. And it actually makes a lot of sense. It makes a ton of sense that Palantir is named the way it is because the lore of the Palantiri stone or orb, whatever the fuck it is, you look in it, and in the movies, you don't see the full image. And that's why we bombed a school in Iran. It's because a bunch of dumbasses in the Air Force or whatever looked inside of the fucking Palantiri orb, which is just a screen in real life, and went, that looks like a military encampment. And then, oops. That's I mean it's crazy. And then the flock cameras are also wild too. If you support flock cameras, what the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with you? This, I mean, we're beyond sci-fi now. We're beyond the Minority Report. We're beyond 1984, literally and figuratively. We are beyond. 1984 looks good compared to where we are at. You know, I don't know. Speaking of sci-fi, I don't know if sometimes I like to do movie stuff. I don't know if you guys like. You know, this is another example of the rot in our world that is just so hard to watch. Is not fully, like, there's a lot of cool cinema happening, right? You got these indie films, you got Backrooms, you got Obsession. So you got some good films. I watched Disclosure Day, and I'd like to disclose to all of you that it sucked. I watched Steven Spielberg's latest pile of shit with my wonderful mom while I was on vacation. We watched it, and it was just horrible. Like, everything, it was like, I watched Disclosure Day, and it felt like a montage of every. It's about aliens. That's not a spoiler. Spoiler alert. It was. I watched it, and it was like a montage of every single alien movie I've ever seen crammed together, and with the classic Steven Spielberg camera, rotating around people. I mean, it's like, it was nauseating. It was a nauseating movie. It was a nauseating movie, and it was trash. It was nauseating to watch. Boring. There were a bunch of animals. Steven Spielberg really needs to stop making movies. I'm sorry. Steven Spielberg, that's 2 strikes, sir. That's 2 strikes. The first strike was The Fabelmans. The Fabelmans, this is too deep for people. The Fabelmans, also recommended. His 2 latest movies were trash. There's no plot. And we're just phoning it in. And again, I don't want to shit on his legacy. He's you can't deny he has some iconic movies under his belt. But his 2 most recent movies, I'm like, can we move on? Can we maybe give $100 million to a younger guy? Guys, I'll give you a promise right now. When I'm 80, I'll be done with this. When I'm 80, I'm not going to be talking into a mic anymore. I think that we should take away microphones from people. Here's the law I want passed. Here's a law I want passed tomorrow. We should take away microphones from any man over the age of, it's like a driver's license. This thing, the microphone that I'm talking into right now, this thing should be taken away from any man. If you're a man and you get to the age of, honestly, 75, let's keep a nice round number. You can talk into a mic until you're 75. And then after that, we take it away and we go, just go to the beach. And then if you're a woman, you never get a mic. And that's why I'm kidding. If you're a woman, you get it till you're 80. Honestly, women, I've never listened to a woman talk into a microphone and thought, we need to take that microphone away from her. Very, very, almost never. I can't think of a single instance where a woman talking into a mic, it made me so angry that I was like, we need to take the mic away. But every other time a guy, and I'm aware I'm doing that right now. Every other time a guy talks into a mic, I'm like, I love that. People say that about my shit. They go, we need to make podcasting. We need to make podcast microphones more expensive, whatever the fucking meme is. So I don't know. Movies are getting shittier. We need a fucking guys. I've said it. We just need a recession. We need a good old don't you want a recession? Deep. I want you to look deep in your heart. Look deep in your heart. Don't you want a recession? You know, it's often, I don't know what quote this is, but can you look this one up, Alex? This is such a great quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's deep down in his heart, every man desires to witness the end of the world. And it's a little bit dark, but that's kind of how when I look at the job market and I look at the economy, I'm begging for the end of the world. I'm begging for the end. I'm begging, not the end. We need a reset. We need a nice reset politically. You know, the empire's crumbling. The empire's crumbling. Movies are shit. No one, you know what the problem is? No one's quitting. You know what the real problem is? No one is retiring. Mitch McConnell hasn't retired. Mitch McConnell hasn't retired. Mitch McConnell is literally a missing person, and he hasn't retired. That's who's running our government. We have Steven Spielberg making movies where the aliens are animals. Steven Spielberg made an alien movie with actual crop circles. Some of the hackiest fucking bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And we all just go along with it because of his legacy. Mitch McConnell is in the government and he's literally missing. He's missing. And he gets to govern us. Mitch McConnell is missing. They haven't. They're about to file a missing persons report on Mitch McConnell, and he still gets to govern us. And he's 8,000 years old. He's gonna be on a fucking milk box, a Mitch box. Isn't Mitch? Can we look that up? I think Mitch McConnell is missing. Where in the world is Mitch McConnell? What? Is he dead?
No, found unconscious given CPR. This is Daily Beast, so who knows?
Oh, when did this break?
An hour ago.
Well, we want to be, hold on, guys. I want everyone to calm down. I know you're upset and you're worried about Mitch McConnell's life. I want us all to take a little moment of silence and pray. This is why I wish we live stream. That'd be so fun. Well, no, it'd be embarrassing because there'd be no chat. Oh my God. Can I read this headline from this is from the Daily Beast. This is breaking news. It could, or is this the New York Post?
Well, so I found one of the New York Post is slightly more reputable.
The New York. Okay, what does the New York Post say? Oh my God.
But it's last month.
Oh, that was last month.
But then both of these came out today, so maybe the news came out today.
So he was found unconscious, allegedly found unconscious.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, guys, we can only hope for the best, which is that he makes a full recovery and then dies painfully. All right. Well, we'll keep following that. Wow, that's crazy. Guys, we will see. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm glad that you brought that up because that makes my point even clearer. You know? He just he's literally unconscious. He's still an active senator, right? Am I crazy? He is still an active senator. He's the senator of Kentucky, right? He gets to vote on the laws. And he's unconscious. Crazy. We just need a reset. We really do. We need a little bit of a jolt or I don't know. Just like we need everyone to just not have debt. Everyone has too much debt. It's too hot. Everyone's just moving, and I'm on TikTok a lot. Going on TikTok is one of the worst things you can do. And I realize you might be watching the TikTok clips that I put out. So I realize I help enforce this toxic cycle. I don't like it. You got to market the show. I don't like it though. I'd rather not. But I'm on TikTok too much, and people post like, really dark shit. Really, really dark pro eating disorder content. Guys, I don't know what it is about my algorithm. All I see is like pro eating disorder content. It's so weird. Like I don't know what it is. It's just a bunch of people being like, just a bunch of people, commenting like, I want to stay on this side of TikTok, and it's just a bunch of people starving themselves. I don't know. And I see it because there was this whole story about Ariana Grande, and a lot of people are saying that she is struggling with an ED, which no one it's very sad. It's very fucking sad. This is a great show, isn't it? Isn't it funny and cool and hilarious, and lighthearted? I don't know. I'm Hollywood. My point is, everything's fucked. Hollywood's fucking evil too. It's just sick that they're just making her tour, even though something's, she's, going through something. It's very sad. It's very, very fucking sad to see Hollywood just push people and squeeze as much fucking money as they can out of these people, regardless of their health. And that's the same reason I'm very scared for Mitch McConnell, because Mitch McConnell is being squeezed by Benjamin Netanyahu. We have to remember that Mitch McConnell is just a precious little baby boy, and we all need to be really, really think good thoughts, because he's unconscious. When you pull up that headline, Alex, that said that Mitch McConnell was unconscious, I was like, that's not news. He's been unconscious for 30 years. I don't think Mitch McConnell has been conscious since 1922. Since 1826. Whenever the fuck he was born. Anyway, guys, we have let's do some AI stuff. What did I have there, Alex? I'm always all over the place.
So AI is making, is it the AI Psychosis?
There's that one.
And then the AI is making Silicon Valley productive, anxious, and afraid to log off.
Oh, yes. Let's do that one. So this is from Bloomberg. And I read this, and I want to share this one with you guys and use it as a springboard to talk about some other shit too, because everyone, and this, it's like, I don't know about you guys. I feel like AI is reaching like a fever pitch right now. It feels like, it's just peak delusion. It's peak delusion, peak scam. It's a scam economy. It really is a scam economy. It's a fraudulent scam world, and you can just and that's the worst part. The worst part about where we're at with AI is that it's this cult where if you just shut the fuck up and get on board, you can be wealthy. Just shut the fuck up and get on board. Don't ask any questions about AI. Don't ask any questions about how it's being financed or how is it going to make money in the future. Don't ask those questions. We want to hire you. We're hiring. Okay. We're hiring. What are you hiring for? Generative AI. An AI trainer. How does that work? Well, we train the AI to be faster. And we're going to pay you $100 an hour to train an AI. How is, okay, where does this, that's all I'm saying is where does this end? And I'm not saying, and again, it's an innovation. It's cool. I'm not going to deny another movie I rewatched recently, I, Robot, way better than Disclosure Day. I, Robot, that's a fucking movie. All right. That's a movie. I, Robot is a historical piece at this point. I, Robot is like a good, I don't know if people really understand how bad this AI shit could get. If you've seen iRobot, at this point, iRobot, best case scenario. Best case scenario is Will Smith is, spraying a bunch of humanoid robots with an AR-15. That's the best case scenario. All right? Best case scenario is hundreds of AI robots are going to climb the Empire State Building, much like that couple just did, and propose to each other. I'm kidding. Best case scenario, I think with where we're going is iRobot, where and a more realistic scenario is, I think, something like Ukraine. It's if you think that it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bunch of autonomous drones and flock cameras, and they're not gonna let you have a fucking chance. They're not gonna let you shoot at it. It's gonna be a million little it's whatever it is, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be I think that when people imagine like this AI robot apocalypse, they imagine something like iRobot, where suddenly all the robots become evil and they turn red. That's so funny. That's how you know the robots are evil, is they turn red. And I think that's what people imagine. I don't think that that's what it looks like, though, because I think that people in charge know that wouldn't work. I think the AI dystopia that's a lot more likely, it's going to be a war of attrition. It's going to be a war of attrition. We're just, we're going to slowly just outsource more and more and more of our identity and our freedom to the machine. We don't even go get Taco Bell anymore. I sound like my ex-girlfriend. We don't even get Taco Bell anymore. We just open our phone and it appears. Right? And the money goes away. It's isolating and it's sad. And it's convenient. And I think that's how they're going to get that's how they sink their claws into us, is we're just going to be so dependent on these things that, we're not going to want to shoot at them. Why would you want to shoot at the thing that you fuck? There's not going to be a robot apocalypse where they all turn red and say you can't leave your home, because you're not going to want to leave your home. That's, you're not going to want to leave. So the robot will be like, I didn't even have to turn red. But there's this Bloomberg article that, for some of the, I just love reading this shit. There's this Bloomberg article that's hilarious. Could you blow that up a little bit, Alex? So from Bloomberg, AI is making Silicon Valley productive, anxious, and afraid to log off. Awesome. Great. Guys, great job. Great job. Really, really great job. Claude Code is cutting into sleep time. Uh-oh. And how is this affecting the dads of Silicon Valley? I love Silicon Valley dads. Silicon Valley dads are just some of the most miserable fucking people. And a lot of Silicon Valley dads are the worst fathers you can have. So this is from Bloomberg. I just thought this was hilarious. Matt Van Horn, a serial entrepreneur and father of 4, never turns his laptop off anymore. He has more than He has more than a half dozen artificial intelligence agents running at all times in Anthropic's Claude Code. Every 10 minutes or so, they ask him what to do next. He keeps his laptop running at his kids' soccer practice while dropping them off at school and in the hotel during vacations. When he goes to sleep, one agent steps in to babysit the others. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I'll tell you what, I would not want to be this guy's kid. I would not want to be this guy's kid. You know, the grass is always greener, guys. I know it sounds nice to be like the kid of one of these Silicon Valley dads that has a bunch of money. But the thing is, those guys are horrible fathers. And they're going to get worse because of AI. Because you're going to kick the goal. You're going to be playing soccer. And you're going to kick in. You're going to get a goal. And you're going to look over at your dad. And he's in the middle of an AI psychosis. You're going to be playing soccer with your friends, dribbling the ball, having a great time, and you get the game-winning goal, and everyone cheers, and you feel great. And then you look over to the man that is half of you for his approval, and you go, oh, is my dad proud of me? And your dad is going to have VR goggles on. Okay? Aimlessly pointing in different directions, trying to set up an agentic SaaS platform. And then that is when you will turn to drugs. And you will try to find that approval elsewhere. And you'll find it at the bottom of a bottle. And then we wonder why all these kids, I had a bunch of friends growing up. Their dads were lawyers and these tech guys, and they were fucking miserable. They were miserable kids, and a lot of them numbed themselves with drugs and alcohol because these dads suck. And AI is only going to make it worse. Van Horn is one of many founders whose work has been transformed by AI. As he builds his latest company, he's used AI agents to help contribute to hundreds of projects on GitHub. He and many other AI evangelists are also working longer hours than ever before as they grapple with anxieties about how AI might advance without them if they log off. Hey man, go live your life. You know what else you should be worried about? Your child advancing into the crack pipe. Or do you not care? These people don't give a fuck. It really, really makes me sad. Like, you can stop. They're addicted to AI. Okay? And I use it a lot. I'm saying this as someone who uses AI a lot for my work. Which I never thought would come out of my mouth. It's a very pathetic thing to say. We all got to make money. Okay? But this idea that AI, that's what really pisses me off the most is the idea that like AI was going to make our lives easier and like we would need UBI. We're going in the opposite fucking direction, bro. That guy, like AI is just the next evolution of technology that gets everyone to work twice as hard for the same amount of pay. Because your productivity has to be 10 times higher than it was a year ago for the same amount of pay. I think guys, it's scary because I really think that we're at the beginning of like this AI psychosis thing, right? I mean, it's really scary because it is sort of like the perfect storm because you have a bunch of lonely men talking to a laptop that likes to talk to them. The only people, and it's a very scary time because the only entity that is even willing to hold a conversation with an average American man is a machine. Have you ever tried to have a conversation with an average man these days? It's really hard. It's really hard, and I'm saying this as a man. It's very hard to hold a conversation with a man in 2026 without it, collapsing into something like a podcast that you're listening to now, or it's very hard to keep it going. Social skills are at an all-time low because of COVID, and it all is a funnel into getting you to talk to AI more. So here's more from this article. After 15 minutes of conversation with a Bloomberg reporter, he notes that most of his agents are probably waiting for his next prompt. Ugh! I just threw up in my fucking mouth, Matt. I don't have a therapist, but if I did, they'd be like, "It's okay, Matt." They said that agents were supposed to do our work for us, but I've never worked harder in my life. I just have 100 times the output that I had before. You know what? I doubt that, Matt. You know what? I doubt it. I don't actually. I am going to. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to doubt that AI increases your productivity as much as they claim that it does. At least in the current form. It doesn't. It doesn't. AI does not. I don't think AI increases your productivity with in the multiples that NVIDIA or OpenAI or Anthropic want you to believe that it will. It doesn't. If anything, when AI does the work for you, you sit there waiting for it to do the work, or maybe you run another AI in the meantime. Fine. After it's done, if it's work that's actually important, you still have to go and review it, and that takes time. And then if it's wrong, you have to go in and you have to fix the work. And then suddenly you're probably like, I should have just fucking done this myself, you dumb fuck. And yeah, maybe it'll get better. Fine. Maybe it'll get better and it'll be able to do this stuff perfectly every single time. It seems like we're pretty quickly approaching a world where maybe that's the case. But even in that case, let me ask you this. If you have a job and AI can do your job perfectly every single time without you being involved, I want you to really, really ask yourself, are you actually doing a job that is a real job? Let me ask you something. If you're worried about AI replacing your job, that you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you this because I care about you. I don't actually care about you. You're on the internet. I care about you. Let me put it to you guys this way. I've been thinking about this a lot. If your job is readily going to be replaced by AI, you have what I like to call a fake job. Okay? I'm sorry to say it. You know what AI is doing? It's replacing the work that wasn't actually didn't actually add any value in the first place. Like I always go back to this. Like delivering food hot and on time, finding the human when you're delivering the food. I get they have these food robots in LA, but food delivery, washing laundry, being a server, being a barista. Alex is pulling up all these counterexamples to everything I'm saying. Honestly, I don't know. You know what? I'll take it all back. Are we just all fucked? I don't know. Maybe we're just literally all fucked. I don't know. But, what? You know what? I guess this is what I'm trying to say is this. Sorry, I'm all over the place today, guys. What I'm trying to say is this. A lot of jobs that are going to be replaced or augmented by AI. A lot of jobs, many jobs that are going to be replaced or augmented a lot by artificial intelligence are jobs that I believe fundamentally were a lie to begin with. If you are an investment banker, if you are a marketing analytics coordinator, supervisor, if you're a dashboard, if you have an email job, if your job has anything to do with insights, then you should have known a long fucking time ago that that was going away. If your job is exporting data and then emailing it to someone else, that's not a real fucking job. I'm sorry. If you are like worried about AI replacing your job, you never had a real job to begin with. Your job existed so that the management of the company could show the line going up. That is why your job exists. The reason why your marketing analytics job exists, where you work 2 hours a day, 2 hours a week. You know what? If you're getting groceries at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, okay, and you claim that you have a full-time 40 to 50 hour a week job, and you're out and about in the afternoon because you actually only work 10 hours a week, yeah, AI is going to take your fucking job because your job is not a job. Your job is not a job. Your job is a lie. You know? Cleaning shit is a job. Adding real value, productivity, I don't know. Talking into a microphone. This is creative. I'm adding a lot of value. This is worth something. It's worth $5 a month on Patreon. But I don't know. It's very funny to see dads. I think I am so excited to see some of the worst dads in the world get AI psychosis. That's going to be awesome. And speaking of, we'll close with that. This is what I want to close with. AI's really fucking people up mentally. It's this Reddit thread that I want to bring up. It's a little bit. There we go. So it's not just like it's not just these guys that are like using AI to avoid their children. This is a Reddit thread that went viral. I want to read to you guys. It's hilarious. Could you blow it up a little more? Thank you, Alex. This is awesome. My boss, this is a Reddit thread, and this is what people are like. This is how AI is affecting people. Are you ready? This guy goes, my boss has AI psychosis and we're fucked. Go to meeting. Boss shares the conversation he had with Claude, and stone cold serious tells us we need to appease Claude and meet, quote, his projections. I believe his is referring to Claude. Claude doesn't understand our clients or their needs, so things don't happen the way Claude projected. Boss flips out, has another conversation with Claude to ask why. Claude can't figure it out, so we must be the problem. I'm watching him get deeper and deeper into the hole, and it's fucking depressing to watch. And for his sake, too. Can't be good for his mental health. It's not good for any of us. I don't want to participate in the dog and pony show anymore. I think we all need to log off, vent over. Now, my reaction to this is I think you need to listen to Claude. I think that what you need to do is actually not log off. I think you need to double down, and I think you need to meet Claude where Claude is. Okay? What you need to do is you need to lean in. The only way to beat AI psychosis is to go over the top. Because if someone's like really into AI, like a lot of these CEOs and bosses super into AI, you can't tell them that the AI is fucking stupid and they're dumb and they need to fucking listen to human beings. That's not going to work because they're boomers and they're brainwashed. So here's my advice to you. You need to go over the top and you need to like make up you need to lean into the psychosis. You know, like when you see like a crackhead in the street and then if you act even crazier, it scares him away. Like if a crackhead comes up to you and it's like, ah, you just got to look at him and be like, ah! You know? You got to be like, I'm a warlock. You got to be crazier than the crazy guy. Okay? So if you have a boss who's telling you to use AI, you need to come back over the top and be like, oh yeah? Well, I have access to an even more powerful version of Claude that you don't know about, that I just got access to, and he said that your AI is wrong. What about that? And then you can have a conversation. You have to fight fire with fire. You have to fight Claude with Claude. You understand? You have to fight Claude with Claude. That's the last battle. I mean, it's being rammed down our throats so much, you guys. I don't know if anyone else experiences. I just don't like that AI is being rammed down our throats as if it's the cure to everything and every single problem in your life. AI is not the solution AI can't solve every problem. As much as every corporate executive wants you to use AI to solve all of your problems, it's not going to solve all your problems, okay? Claude is not going to help you reunite with your estranged daughter that hates you. You know? Claude is not going to help you get out of bed. Claude's not going to help you exercise. There's some things you just have to do yourself. A lot of people are relating to this guy on Reddit. I think it's hilarious. I love it. Honestly, this is another guy. He goes, I went through something very similar, came to work on Monday, and our CEO/founder had gone crazy over the weekend. Sent everyone 40-page manifestos from Claude about how their functions were underperforming and what they need to do to fix it. The worst part is how much of it was hallucinated. I work in email marketing, point proven, bullshit job. And the very first analytics point it called out was that our welcome email series hasn't been sent in 3 months, which was wrong, but the guy took it like gospel. Yeah. So what I'm saying is AI should run the government. Once Mitch McConnell dies, we need to have a Mitch McConnell AI. I am voting for the Mitch McConnell AI for Senate. I want Mitch McConnell's consciousness before he dies. I want him downloaded into the Matrix, and I want it injected into a Chinese humanoid robot, and I will vote for that thing. Okay? Because I believe in democracy. And I'm also a socialist. I'm in the DSA. I'm in the DSA. I don't know if you guys know. I am in the DSA. I'm in the dog shit appreciators. I'm a dog shit appreciator. I'm in the DSA. I am also, of course, an actual. I mean, you know, in the great words of Joe Rogan, I'm an independent. I'm a political atheist. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a political atheist, and I also love texting the president. I'm a political atheist, and I love having Donald Trump on speed dial. I call him every night. We talk on Grok, and we get a lot done. Well, guys, I think we got a lot done today. We're over time, you guys. So I'm gonna move on to the Patreon, which you should check out. Patreon.com/Sean Show. What did we not get to, Alex? I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff.
There's the Comcast split, the Trump personal wealth.
Oh yeah, the news. Trump crypto thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Trump accounts for kids.
Oh my God, fuck. That was like the main thing I was going to talk about.
Kevin O'Leary.
All right, on the Patreon, we're going to do Trump accounts which is coming out July 4th. Anyone under the age of 18 gets a Trump account, which is not related to child sex trafficking. And then also Kevin O'Leary is back. And so we have a lot more to get to, guys. Anyway, I think this was fun. I thank you guys for listening. I'm on 4 hours of sleep, but we had fun. I appreciate you guys listening. Damn, this went by pretty fast. SeanReillyComedy.com. I'm going to be headlining Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to be headlining July 31st. I do stand-up comedy, believe it or not. So come see me live. And guys, thank you so much. Please review the show on Spotify, like the show on YouTube, all that bullshit. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye.